What's up with y'all? This Lonnie Spiritual. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about should you suppress your emotions? And that question is more directed to your negative emotions, right? So, should you stop yourself or suppress your negative emotions? And clearly, the answer to that is no, you shouldn't, because what's going to happen is your negative emotions that you keep suppressing will start to come up in other ways, in other aspects or certain areas of your life that may trigger you to feel those negative emotions. And the more you stop yourself from feeling those negative emotions and don't acknowledge them, what's going to happen is they're going to persist because you continue to resist. So what you resist will persist. All right, so just think about a lesson that you had to learn in life, right? If you stopped yourself from learning that lesson at hand when you should have learned that lesson, or when you just seen that red flag in that person and you just knew that you should not ignore that red flag, what always happened after that? If you continue to suppress that or not learn that lesson or continue to ignore that red flag, it kept getting worse and worse and worse until you were forced to make a decision to deal with it. All right, so the same thing goes with your negative emotions. You have to deal with them at hand and when you're supposed to, when they're being brought up, so it won't continue to hold you back and get worse and worse as they go on, and so that you can heal from them. All right, and with this topic, you can go back on my video that I did on good and evil. Does good and evil really exist? Because a lot of people have the misconception of you need to let go of your negative thoughts and stuff like that and your negative emotions, and there needs to be no more of them, and you just need to be high vibrational all the time, 24/7. And that's not the case, because for one, you're not really balanced like that, and we have duality in this on this third dimension for a reason, so that you can use whatever works. And that's the reason we go through things, because everything is not meant to be high vibrational and positive 24/7. But that's a huge misconception that I see with people, that they believe that their negative emotions should be completely gone and just non-existent, and that's never going to be the case, because as long as you're down here, you're gonna have to deal with some type of pain. You're gonna have to deal with some type of some level of suffering down here. So for you to not acknowledge or have any negative emotions or low vibrational emotions or low consciousness emotions or feelings, I guess you should say, then what lessons are you truly learning by just acknowledging one side of the spectrum? You have to acknowledge both sides of the spectrum to truly appreciate and to truly get an inner knowing of the other. So without low vibrational emotions, a low consciousness, what would high consciousness be? How would you really appreciate it? How would you really know what it is and if you didn't go on a journey to heal and climb up the mountain to get at the top of the mountain? Like, it wouldn't be the same, because you missed out on the whole climb. The part that makes it all worth it is the climb. It's what you learn. It's what builds you. It's what builds your character. It's what teaches you those lessons and gave you those hardships to be able to even get to the top of the mountain. So all your negative and suppressed emotions that feel uncomfortable, all they're there for is to not give you pain, and to not give you a level of, well, it is there to give you a level of dissatisfaction and and uncomfortability and stuff like that, because when you talk about uncomfortability, then you talk about growth. You cannot grow by being comfortable 24/7, because if you were comfortable 24/7, then you wouldn't have a reason to move. You wouldn't have a reason to get up and do anything because you're comfortable. And that's where growth stops, in comfortability. So your suppressed emotions, your negative emotions that you don't want to feel, you should just go ahead and just let them come through and acknowledge them and embrace them with the same love and care that you would as your high vibrational emotions, because that also goes hand in hand with the video I did on love. Because when you talk about love, you're not talking about just this light of just pure bliss and positivity and and stuff like that. You're talking about darkness. You're talking about the unknown. Hidden potential. You're talking about you're talking about everything. So the fact that you have these suppressed emotions, or whatever suppressed emotions you may have that may be of a low vibration, you have to love those just as much as a high vibration, because they're there for the same reason as the high vibration, to get you to learn something from yourself, just from a more so of an uncomfortable place. So it's all being done out of love. Your high vibrations are happening out of love, and your low vibrations are happening out of love. So never look at your negative emotions as a burden or something you need to just walk away from and let go, okay? They're being brought up as an opportunity for you to acknowledge them and heal them so you can grow and learn, okay? So always acknowledge them, all right? And never suppress them, because what you resist will persist. Slani Spurs from God.